Hi everyone, we're doing this proxy access training as part of IPO Anchor Framework. It's a locality project and it's PCN led. It's aiming to improve access for frail and housebound patients. So we want a family member or a carer or a friend to be able to get online access to health records and do repeat prescriptions for the patients. Adi will take it from here and show us how to do the proxy setup.
For that. Hello, everybody. My name is Adi. I am the Digital and Transformation Lead for Tower-Hamlets Network 6 and Network 8. And today I'm going to talk to you about Proxy Access. I'm going to show you how it works on Emis Web. But before that, what I am going to show you, or basically tell you, is a few things which you would need. The first thing you need to set up proxy access is to ensure that the person who's gaining the access has an email address and a verified email address. The person who's gaining the access, known as the proxy, should also have an account with patient access. The proxy who is to view the patient's records must have patient access in order to see the other patient's records. The proxy will not be able to view the patient's records unless a second account is made onto their ongoing account. When we complete the online verification for setting up proxy access, the proxy will be emailed a PIN, and with that PIN, they can access their patient access account and view patient records. So now what I will do is I will put on Emis Web and I will share with you and confirm with you how we actually give proxy access. So if you just bear with me, I'm going to bring up Emis Web. The one thing you're not going to see in this is basically when you search for a patient, you usually get other patients' identifiable data listed. So I'm not going to show you that. I'm going to go straight into the patient. The patient here is called test patient. So I'll bring it up now. Hopefully you can see that okay. And as you can see, the test online patient here is written, Mr. Patient Test Online. And what we need to do in order to give proxy access, we look right across to the other side and you can see this far right-hand icon called proxy. If the icon was green, that means this patient already has a proxy user. But as it is black, they do not have basically a proxy user. So what we do is we double click it and the screen changes. And as it changes, it shows to 5 different tabs: demographics, additional, online services, family relationships, status history, and GP to GP. So we need to stay in number 1 where it's demographics. We then need to go to add online user. You will then get 2 basic options. First one is add current patient, and second is add proxy user. We're going to do add proxy user. So we select on that, and then another basic pop-up box will come called online user trace. What this is doing is it's trying to find if the patient is already registered within our organization, so it can just pull information through. So I'm just going to start filling in the details and try and find basically the patient if it's there. Hopefully there should be no patient there because this is a random patient's name I am using. So I'm going to start filling out the details. When it comes to gender, that's a drop-down box. Then it is date of birth. Then you have to put in the postcode. and then we do find. So as you can see, there is no matching online users found. So what we're going to do is where it says here in blue, create a new account. And what it will do is pull all this data, which we've already filled in. So we do create a new account. And there you go. It's already pulled in the data we've put before. So I'm just going to fill in the rest which it requires. It's best to fill in every box because that way at the end you will not get basically errors missed. Now, when it says primary email address, this has to be the same address as their patient access linked address. So they could have 2, 3 email addresses, but the one which is used for patient access will be the one which needs to be primary email address. And you can verify that by asking them to send an email to the practice's email address and checking that is the one there. And then they also have to make sure that that email address is linked to patient access. So I'm just going to put in the email address. Then I'm going to change it to verified. And then we have to look up the address here when it comes. That is now being selected. I'm going to go down to mobile telephone number and fill in a random number. And just put verified. And then press next. And as you can see, the details have now gone green. So that means all the details have been entered correctly. We now need to go to ID verification, identification verification. We do add. Now we have 3 methods here. We have identify document, personal vouching, and information confirmation. We never use personal vouching. We can either use identify document or information confirmation. Identity document is, suppose you have got a passport, you've scanned it onto the system, and then what it will ask you to do is, when you press add, is to scan to add the document which has been scanned in onto the patient's record. So that's what that would ask you to do. So I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to be using that method, but that's one of the methods you can use. The one I'm going to use, which is probably going to be easiest and most in line with GDPR, is information confirmation. So what we could do here is we could put passport number. So there's a passport number, or we could do driving license. Or we could do a recent utility bill within the last 3 months. So I'm going to do British Gas. I'm going to put the month and the year which it's from. And then I'm going to put the account number as well. So there you go. And then we just save these. So you could use either of these 3 things. If you're going to use a utility bill, please note it cannot be a telephone bill. And please remember within the last 3 months. And we just press save. Then if we do next, you can see the ID verification has become a green tick, which is what we wanted. Next, we're on access. This section is very, very important, and you have to be very careful when filling out this section. So it's going to ask me relationship to patient. As you can see here, there are a few options. So I'm just going to select carer. Now, what is the blanket approach is when you're giving access to various parts of the healthcare record, you can choose what you want to, but the blanket approach is to give everything all access and also detailed access. So I'm even going to tick messaging here, because if we get a message, which says, please contact the surgery for urgent blood result review, we need to make sure even the proxy gets that, because the whole point is the patient who's given proxy access may not have digital solutions like text messages, but the proxy access owner does. So it's very important to do that as well. So on the record access, it now says no care record access, core summary care record access, or detail coded record. We're going to use detail coded. And then it says show all from. We need to put a date. So I'm just going to choose somewhere in 2019. If I just go to 2019, I'm just going to go to February and do 11. So now what it will do, it will show all lab results, consultations, documents, and so on and so forth from 11th February 2019. This will be visible to the proxy user now. And as we can scroll down, we can see like this. Now, if we don't want to show everything from 11th of February, suppose we want to show lab results a bit ahead or a bit before, we just do customized access. Everything will still stay 11th February, but we can change this. So if we just change only lab results to say January 2019, 7th of Jan, we'll just do that. We'll also change that. So that way we have also given personalized access of what may needs to be seen from an earlier or later date. And then when it comes to record sharing, you tick that as well, because we do want secondary care or community care to be able to see this. And we go next. Now, legal basis. This is where it's asking you to confirm basically what access you're giving is correct. Also, that you understand its implicit consent, and how have you got that consent? Is it written or verbal? So let's just go out and fill in all this. So we're just ticking allow access for all of them. We scroll down and update legal basis, and the legal basis type is explicit consent, and method we're just going to say verbal. And then do next. Then do save, and then do OK. And like I said earlier, it said, how do you want the PIN to be sent? We will always do email because we want to save paper. And basically, the account ID and the PIN which is needed to log on patient access has been emailed to info@kylie.com. That's this person's email address. And as you can now see, proxy has gone from black to green. So it is now being highlighted correctly. But we haven't finished there. What we next need to go into is make sure that this has been coded. If we don't code it, we won't be able to run any searches. So it's very, very, very important that this next step is also done. So we go to consultations. Then what we do is we go to add new consultation. So I'm going to go down to add. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. And now I'm going to select consultation. Though you may not be able to see it on your screen, you would just do add consultation, and this is where we're doing it now. Just taking some time to load. Press OK when this general thing starts. Just press OK. And then we go to the comment section. What you need to now type is proxy, and you'll be given a list of options. We just type in proxy. And it is the third one we select, which says Emis code, care contact patient proxy. So we just select that one. And then we put proxy access user Miss Kylie Minogue. And we just do save. Now, as you can see on the consultation notes, it has coded it as care contact. So if we ever needed to do a search, we would look for care contact proxy. We would then, and it now says basically who the contact proxy person is. So if we wanted to hide some information before we give access, so I'm just going to select this, the one which we have just done, this little consultation, right click on it, and then go to online visibility. And we'll select do not display on the patient's online care record. So we click that. And when it refreshes, you can see it has gone red. Now I'm just going to go back to proxy just to show you if we needed to unlink the user. So suppose this person didn't want to be the user anymore, didn't want to be act as the proxy. So you select their name and go to unlink user. And you can either go, yes, send an email, or I'm just going to go, no, don't send an email, and delete link. There we go, it's gone. You can still see the proxy icon is green and highlighted, but once you come out of this patient and go into another patient, it will automatically refresh. So that's basically how you do setting up a proxy access. It's very straightforward and simple, shouldn't take you more than about 10 minutes. Swarna, you have got some questions for us. So would you like to ask your question? Thank you.
So how many people can have be added as a proxy?
Yes, so the maximum people you can have linked to anyone is approximately 10 users. You can have 10 users doing that.
Okay. Can this be part of NHS app? Is it available?
You can't see the records on NHS app, unfortunately. Only basically a parent and their children, if the child is under 14, can be seen on the NHS app. Otherwise, you do have to use still patient access. Yeah, so they are in the process of doing that, but at the moment, it's only patient access you can use. Okay, that's great. Thank you so much for your questions. It was lovely to see you. Thank you, Swarna, and all the best. And if you do need us to help you, please contact us. We're not going to put our email addresses there because we are both, basically, it's due to confidentiality information, right? So if you do need us, please contact us. You will have our email address. Thank you very much. Lovely to meet you. Take care. Bye.